Honourable Deputy Chairman of Committees, first of all, I would like to thank you for giving me the time to express my views in this very important debate of the Ministry of Justice, which has approximately 24 institutions under its purview. And also, the Ministry of Justice plays a crucial role in the country by ensuring fair and impartial administration of justice and upholding the rule of law. William E. Gladstone, a former British Prime Minister in the late 1800s, famously said, "Justice delayed is justice denied." I think Honourable Justice Minister also mentioned this in his speech. This legal maxim means if legal redress or equitable relief available to a litigant is not forthcoming, then it is the same as there not being a remedy at all. If you look at the position in Sri Lanka, I think we would all agree that there are so many delays in our legal system, which has a huge social impact on the lives and the livelihoods of our people. Sometimes people have to wait for generations to get an answer or get some sort of redress from the judicial system. In a research done by the Judicial Services Commission, approximately 1.1 million cases is in a state of delay. In the Supreme Court, there's 5,600 cases, Court of Appeal, 6,100 cases, Civil Appellate Court, 28,000, High Courts, 254,000, and in the Magistrates Court, 791,000. The Honourable Minister of Justice also mentioned in his opening speech about the delays in our legal system. And as I said, this definitely has a huge impact, social impact, on the accused, the defendant, and all the parties concerned, because most often, although a person, until proven guilty, is deemed innocent, most people, especially if they are accused of serious crimes, they often have to lose their jobs, they have hardship in relation to their personal relationships, and also the huge cost incurred by both accused as well as the aggrieved party is immense. So therefore, like I said before, we have to take steps to basically fasten the system, because so many people have discussed about the law's delays, successive governments, but there has not been any affirmative action with regard. So not only the social impact, but it also has an impact on the foreign investments which come into the country. Again, Honourable Minister of Justice mentioned it in his speech. Usually any foreign investor, before they invest into a country, when they carry out their due diligence, when they carry out their market research, they look into the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index. So when you look at that, Sri Lanka is very low in this index, mainly because the period taken for contract enforcement is very long. Just to give you an example, Sri Lanka, it takes approximately 3.5 years to enforce a contract. Sri Lanka stands at 164 out of 190 countries. When you compare this with New Zealand, which tops the list, New Zealand, it takes only 6 months for a contract to be enforced. So if Sri Lanka, if we want more investors to come into our country, we definitely need to speed up our judicial process so that it is an incentive for the foreign investors to come into Sri Lanka and invest. So how can we speed up the process? I would like to recommend a few points, especially since the Minister of Justice has just arrived to the chamber as well. One suggestion is to create an administrative tribunal, because we know in the Supreme Court there's a lot of fundamental right actions with regards to teacher transfers, school admissions. A lot of administrative court time is used for these sort of matters. So I would like to suggest administrative tribunal so that these courts can be armed by retired judges, because we know in Sri Lanka the retirement age for judges is 65 years. So there's definitely another 10 to 15 years where they can provide a service to our judicial system, and also maybe have it on a regional basis so that the cases which come to the Supreme Court is somewhat minimized. And again, another suggestion is the digitization of the judicial system. And again, this was spoken by the Honourable Minister, again Honourable Ajit P. Pereira, Member of Parliament, about the digitization of the judicial system. Now, I know in 2017, the ICTA, together with the Minister of Justice, embarked on a court automation project, and subsequently several steps were taken to digitize this judicial process. But I don't think it has been successfully done. For example, in the Kandy courts, there was in the High Court number 1, they have a TV, but that's all. There's no system to have any electronic virtual courtrooms. So I would request the Honourable Minister to look into that. And when I talk of digitization, it's not only to have virtual court hearings. We must look at digitizing also the registration process. So, for example, the submission of documents, payment of court fees, because we know in Sri Lanka, usually if you take a 100-page document and if there's a bench of 5 judges, we need to take 5 copies of all those documents. And also, depending on the number of accused petitioners, we need to have more printing done. So this also will reduce the cost of litigation, at the same time speed up our process. So, I think the Honourable Minister mentioned about this matter earlier as well. Another point I would like to talk about is empowering judges to order realistic costs. As you know, at the moment in our legal system, judges don't seem to award high costs, and as a result we see a lot of frivolous actions being instituted against people. So if we have some sort of guidelines, especially maybe updating the relevant gazettes so that the judges can in fact award higher costs, which would also help us speed up our process.